Right, we're live. I'm down here by one of my favorite spots today. I'll show you. It's beautiful enough. Nice, huh? So the goal today is to provide you with sort of a beginner's crash course on guitar. I've played guitar for a long time, since I was about 20 years old, I think. For a long time I took private lessons. And although I learned like basic chords and learned to play a few songs, didn't really click for me. So what it took for me to get to a point where I enjoy playing the guitar, where I do it for fun, not like brushing my teeth, was to play around a bit with the sounds and to start making my own music instead of being so focused on trying to reproduce what someone else already did. So I'm going to try to share that journey a bit, at least get you started. Maybe you don't have to spend 30 years learning chords and playing someone else's music before you can actually get started. That's my wish, at least, my hope, my goal. We'll see how it goes. So first of all, tuning. There are lots of tuning gadgets. I recommend just getting an app for your phone. There's one that I use that's from Fender, Fender Pro Tune or something like that. It's available for both iOS and Android, and since you always have your phone with you, unfortunately, I think that's a good option, and it works fine. So what you want to look for, even if you pick another app or if you use one of those gadgets, is you want to be able to set the bass frequency of the tuning. So most apps, or everyone I've seen actually, and gadgets, they put the A string on 440 hertz, which is not a very nice frequency. It wasn't always like that. You used to have 432, which is a much more harmonious frequency. And then it changed somewhere around the Second World War, for reasons that I'm not going into. You can look that up. It's all available online. But what you want to be able to do is to set that frequency. And you can do that in this Fender app as long as you register with your email. So that's that. Once you have the guitar tuned, like using the app, what I also recommend doing is to start getting a feel for the sound of it. Okay, how it sounds when it's in tune. So just going through the strings. Just to train your ear a bit. What you can also do is that you can put your finger on the 5th band here. If I do that on the top string, it will sound the same way as the next string. You can keep doing that. Not like that. Until you get to this string here, where you have to actually go to the 4th band instead. You will hear that doesn't really work otherwise. So this is one of the weird things about the standard way of tuning guitars. There are people who tune them differently to get around that particular problem or that issue, but then none of the information out there applies anymore. And since I learned this way, most people do, I just haven't bothered. So whatever you want. But then for the last 2 strings, you go back to the 5th band again. And it'll sound the same. What you can also do is you can check the top string and the bottom string, because they're both E's, just different octaves. So they should sound the same. And sound, like in the beginning, I was listening with my ears a lot. And that doesn't work for me. I could never get a hang of, I could never hear what sounds good and what doesn't, and what's in tune and what isn't, using my ears. But what I can do is use vibrations. So by putting the guitar firmly against the body, I can feel the vibration. And I can feel if something is not in harmony here. So if I take two other strings, it's like it vibrates differently. Whereas these two, they're not like interfering with each other. Something to play around with, like, because you don't want to internalize it. Like you have to internalize it. You have to, because you have music inside of you, and that's what you want to connect to. So that's what we're trying to do here. So I'm going to spend the rest of the time, this is going to be a bit of a longer clip, but it is what it is. I'm going to spend the rest of the time teaching you my two favorite chords, which might sound weird since most people spend a lot of time, I did in the beginning, learning a ton of different chords and learning how to name them and all sorts of theory behind that. I don't see the point, really. If you want to do that, then go ahead, like whatever floats your boat. But it never helped me. What helped me is finding clusters of chords, like chords that are easy to move around between, and chords that are easy to adapt and variate to get different sounds. So my first favorite chord is the regular C chord, which you can look up. It's very easy, just 3 fingers on a diagonal. And you play that from the 5th string, because the top string here is an E, so that's not going to work with that chord. It will sound weird if you do it. So, the 5 bottom strings here. And the cool thing about the C chord, at least in my mind, is that you can remove the top finger and you get a slightly different sound. And you can put it back, and then you can remove the bottom finger. And you get yet another slightly different sound. And you can remove both of them, just keeping the middle finger in place. And you get a third sound. So you have like several chords in one there. Like 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 chords in one. And I said 2 chords. So if you take the 2 bottom fingers and you move them both down, or no, the 2 top fingers, and you move them both down. Yeah. So it's still a diagonal, but there are no gaps in it anymore, like in the C chord. So these 2 fingers, just move them down 1 step, both of them. Same pattern. And you can do the same thing with this chord. You can try lifting one of them at a time, or you can lift both of them and just keep the middle finger. It will all sound good, just slightly different. So this is what you have to do, or this is what I had to do at least. I had to like feel my way forward and try to feel what chords sound good together, feel good together for me. And you might have heard the song that I posted, the first song that I composed on guitar, Light in Darkness. So that entire song is played using just these 2 chords with all the variations. And I'm going to prove it to you by playing a little bit from it. You can see for yourself. No? chords with these variations. And if you look around a bit, you can find more of these clusters for other chords as well. And you'll find that many songs have the chords arranged in these patterns, because that's how you can move fast enough. So it's a common trick. Is there anything more I wanted to share today? Yes, ending a song. So what you usually want to do is you want to end at the same chord, or it will sound good if you end at the same chord as you start the song, which is what I just did, in case you didn't notice. So that's another thing that you can use to make everything sound better. Now I'm going to stop talking for today. I think that's plenty enough. And I'll post more of these lessons on Patreon, because I also have to make a living somehow. And also some more of my music, because this isn't the only song that I've written. Yep, that's what alles. Until next time.